Hey everybody, today at Global Gourmet Girl, we're going to learn how to make 2 meals out of 1 chicken. I just took the chicken out of the wrapper and I just want to kind of rinse it off. After you pat this chicken dry thoroughly, including the cavity, you're going to turn it onto its tummy so that the spine right here is going to be facing on top. And we're going to get some sharp kitchen shears and we're going to do some cutting. So I've got my chicken with the spine facing up towards me, and I'm going to take my chicken shears, start at the base with this little tail end, and you're going to basically cut on either side of this chicken back in order to flatten the chicken into a butterfly chicken. Okay, so we're going to start cutting on one side of the spine. It's going to take, quite a bit of pressure to cut through some of that bone. I want you to see also from this top angle how I am cutting alongside the spine. And see, I'm totally cut through on that side. Then I'll start on the other side along the spine again. And I am cutting alongside the spine all the way to the top. Let's pull it back down all the way to the top so that we have the spine out and we can pull it out. Just have to cut a few more pieces in there. Make sure it's all free. And look, I can pull the spine out, the neck's out, and see it's got this open back now so that I can flatten this chicken out. And I'm going to pat it dry one more time. So let's take the paper towel. Paper towel and just pat the inside completely dry before we do our next step. I have a nice large onion, a yellow onion or a Vidalia is fine, and a lemon. And what we're going to do is we're going to chop and slice those things up so that we can put it under the chicken that we are going to butterfly. So I have lemon and onion, and I have some organic extra virgin olive oil. And what we're going to do is take this flat roasting pan and just drizzle some oil underneath. We are going to, oh, my oven is ready. We're going to take some onion and just sort of sprinkle it on the pan. Toss it in the olive oil a little bit. And then we're going to get our chicken and rub the lemon juice all over the chicken. So I've got the chicken here again, and I'm going to rub some lemon juice all over the top, and then I'm going to flip it and rub it all over the inside too, just so it gets lots of flavoring. And we are going to get ready to bake this thing. So I'd like you to take the piece of lemon and take another piece of lemon, do the same, rub it all over, and then let's lay the chicken on top of the lemon and onion mixture. I'm doing this with one hand so I can film, so it's a little clumsy looking, but we're getting it done. So we're going to put all those layers of lemon and onion underneath my chicken. And soon we're going to get ready to salt and spice it up. Okay? I have here some fresh thyme, and I'm just going to stick it under the chicken so it's flip it back over, stick it under there with the onions. And let's just take some salt and salt the bottom of that chicken. So I have some sea salt here. I'm just gonna salt the chicken underneath. And let's flip it back over. Make sure that thyme gets underneath that chicken so it has the essences kind of baking into the chicken meat while it bakes. Get that lemon and onion underneath that butterfly chicken. And on top, we are going to sprinkle some garlic powder, some rosemary, a little bit more thyme, olive oil, salt, and pepper. So I do film these things by myself, so I've got one hand to do stuff, and so it can get pretty chaotic. But one thing I'm going to teach you is you can flip this wing behind its back so that it kind of just looks nice and neat when you're baking. So let's do the other side too. You just sort of flip it behind itself. You wouldn't want to do that as a person because that would hurt, but see how it's flipped behind its back? And we're gonna tuck all that onion and lemon goodness underneath. And then, let me wipe my hand off. We are going to sprinkle this thing first with a lot of garlic powder. A lot. I love the taste of the garlic powder on it. A little bit of rosemary, maybe just a few little leaves of thyme that you can sprinkle on top of this bird, just to give it a nice essence. And then, of course, it's important to put a lot of salt and then maybe some pepper too. So let me see if I can get this top off, and I'll just sprinkle some that I pre-grated on top of there. Yes, beautiful. And then we're going to just kind of drizzle some of this olive oil on top so it's nice and crispy when it bakes. And you can rub some of that in just to make sure it's nice and even, and get it all over the wings and everything, and it's gonna taste extra, extra yummy. You might wanna put just a little more salt at the end, because honestly, you can't salt it enough. It's just, you know, once you bake it, it just kind of all absorbs in, and it's gonna be this nice shape, flattened like this, and we're gonna stick it in the oven. So I promised you 2 meals from 1 chicken. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to take that spine bone from the chicken, we're gonna put it in a pot, and we're gonna slice the vegetables up to put in the pot with the broth. Make sure you wash your hands thoroughly with soap and water before you touch the vegetables. I just like to keep everything clean. So, you know, whenever you handle the chicken, make sure that you wash with soap and water thoroughly. So here I have some fresh organic celery stalks, fresh organic carrots, and we already chopped the onion from before. We're gonna get that all chopped up really nicely to put into the soup pot. So I'm just gonna coarsely chop these carrots that have been washed really well into little slices. And I'll do the same with the celery. I'll just show you really quickly. Just cut it into maybe 1 centimeter slices. The carrots are probably 1/2 centimeter slices. And the onions are finely chopped. So I have chopped the carrot into maybe 1/4 inch slices, and the celery is about 1 centimeter long. I've finely chopped diced onions, and once we've completed chopping, I'm going to get the soup pot going. I also think it tastes really nice if you smash some garlic. I've got about 3 cloves here, and just peel off the skins. And you can throw some of this smashed garlic in with the vegetables to get a nice aroma for this soup. So I'm heating my cast iron enameled pot from Le Creuset, and it's a soup pot, and I'm gonna add probably about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And we have the celery, carrot and onion, and the smashed garlic that we're gonna throw in. The French term for that is mirepoix. So let's let that mirepoix get nice and hot and sauteed in that pot. While that's cooking, I have diced up some garden fresh vegetables I still had from my neighbor. Some squash here that I've diced really finely, and some tomatoes that are super ripe and delicious. And I'm gonna throw that in to the pot after I have sauteed the mirepoix. And you can see that beautiful bright color starting on that mirepoix. You get that so that it's nice and just very tender before we add the other vegetables. You can, if you want to, at this point, start thinking about which herbs you want to add to your soup. I have added the tomato and the squash into the soup pot, and just stirring it all up. And then we're going to add some chicken bone broth that I bought today. We're going to add it to the soup pot. That was about a 16-ounce packet of chicken bone broth. So now I'm going to add about 2 more cups of water to that. I'm also going to add this sprig of thyme in it. You can pull it out at the end when you serve so that people don't have this stringy thing to eat. And then I'm going to add a pinch of marjoram. That's about a pinch. To that, let's add maybe like a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of fresh cracked pepper. In a small pot, I am going to add that spine that we had from the chicken to some water until it's all covered up in the pot, and let that simmer for about 30 minutes. After you put all the vegetables in your soup pot, you can put this delicious Manischewitz egg noodle into the pot. I'd say about a cup, and let that stir up nicely. You're gonna just let that simmer on low until the noodles are soft and the vegetables are soft. I almost forgot one of my favorite ingredients for soup, which is bay leaves. So make sure you stick 2 bay leaves into the soup pot. Into the little tiny soup pot with the chicken spine, I'm going to make a little packet here. I put some celery, carrot, onion, and some thyme in, and we're going to tie it up, and we're going to put that little pocket in with the bone to simmer. So I made this little tiny sachet, and we're going to put it into the bone pot and let that simmer for a while. When you start to get this kind of film on the top, you can skim it off with your soup ladle and just put it away so that you can throw it away in the sink. And that way it stays nice and clear, the broth. once you have let that chicken spine simmer for about 30 minutes in the small pot, you can remove it carefully along with the little sachet. Make sure there's nothing left inside. And you're going to add that broth carefully to the soup pot. You might not need all of it. You can always save some of it for a rainy day, but it just adds a little bit more chicken flavor to the soup. It's time to taste that soup and see if we need some more salt or pepper. Oh, it's so good, but it does need some more salt. So add maybe another teaspoon of salt. You're gonna wanna keep checking on your soup. I just tasted it and I felt like it needed another little bit of salt. It kind of changes flavors as you're cooking. And then also check on the tenderness of the vegetables, and depending on how firm or soft you like your vegetables, you'll know when the soup is done. Okay, soup's ready. Let's serve some of this gorgeous freshness in a bowl. We're gonna try some. So the chicken is done after an hour of cooking, so we're gonna pull it out. The chicken is golden brown and toasty. It looks absolutely delicious. It's got a crispy skin. See? And it's got all that lemon juice and onion underneath. It's gonna be so good to drizzle on top. I let the chicken rest for a little while. I put these onions, the delicious lemon onions, in the middle, and I put the legs and wings on either side. And right now we're gonna fillet the breast and cut it and then lay it on top of that yummy onion. So I'm cutting this chicken on either side of the middle bone, and you just sort of cut it gently off till you get off the bone. And then it's kind of hot, so careful. Then you lay the boneless breast once you've gotten away from the bone, and then you slice like this, so you have nice pieces that people can serve for themselves. As you can see, I've put the breast meat on top of that onion, and I've got some of the sauce right next to it. Ooh, it's so good. And you can either take some of it and drizzle it over the top like this, or you can serve it kind of like a gravy so people can drizzle the way they like to. Now we're not quite done yet. See all this meaty goodness left on the bone, all this white meat? Well, once the bone has cooled enough, you can pick off that meat and then put it into your soup so that it's extra delicious and proteinaceous with all those yummy vegetables, and makes a chicken vegetable soup. If you are a person who likes cubes of chicken instead of shreds of chicken in your soup, you can also take a couple pieces of that breast and slice it up into cubes or dice it and put it in. But I'm a shred kind of girl, so I'm gonna mix that up. We're going to help ourselves to a beautiful bowl of soup and give it a taste. I've got my chicken here with the lemon and onion, and I've drizzled some of that great sauce over it, and I'm gonna give it a try. Just bursting with flavor. That citrus, the sweet onion, it is so good. I cannot wait to eat the rest of that. You can serve that up with rice or potatoes or bread, whatever you like. Sorry, I can't stop eating. You can serve it with the soup, but like I said, you've got 2 meals out of that one chicken. So enjoy.